Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Well, the impact of the oil and gas industry on the U.S. economy is growing. A new report, in fact, shows how the natural gas revolution has impacted the economy here in our state. And to explain all this and share results is Gerard of the American Petroleum Institute. Good morning.
Good morning, Molly. How are you today?
I'm doing well. Nice to have you here. I think people are starting to wonder what exactly is the economic impact if capital investments, as predicted, happen in oil and in natural gas.
Well, what we see, Molly, it's a great American success story that's occurred in a relatively short period of time, but also gives us a bright future. In the past couple of years, the oil and natural gas industries created 600,000 jobs right here in the U.S., and the report we've just released on the state of American energy shows over the next decade, just to build the infrastructure for our industry could create another 1 million jobs. These are pipelines, rail traffic, barge, processing facilities, etc. So while we were producing this energy that make us more self-sufficient, put downward pressure on the price, we're able to create a lot of jobs. And it's a great story. It's a great opportunity for us as a country to take our own energy destiny in our own hands and develop it right here at home for the benefit of all Americans.
What about the destiny specifically for us here in Wisconsin? How does that look? Are there ways that our economy is expected to grow also?
Absolutely. In fact, our technologies today that have allowed this great breakthrough are impacted in many ways by what you do right there in Wisconsin in a lot of different ways. Let me mention just a couple. The first one is the impact to all of us as Americans or as consumers. Experts have now predicted that our energy bills for every American family have been lowered by about $1,200 a year because of the decline in the cost of natural gas. Because we produce so much more and brought so much more supply to the marketplace, that price has dropped from about $14 to $3 to $4. That benefits us all. But the other thing that's taking place today is the job creation. You've got a lot of manufacturing capability in your state that's benefiting from this activity. You've got activities you might not be aware of. There's a lot of sand production that's taken place in your state that's actually being shipped into North Dakota and elsewhere. Sand particles that we use when we drill a well, they are able to hold open rocks in little microscopic ways to allow oil and gas to flow. So there's a lot of benefits out there that are taking place, and we're only at the front end of this renaissance in the country. We have the potential to be the world's superpower in energy. We've just got to keep going on the path we're going.
And does that mean then that we're becoming more self-reliant?
Absolutely. And just the past few years, our imports to the United States have dropped from 60% to 34%. Some predict that we could become energy self-sufficient in the next decade, meaning a combination of us and Canada right here in North America. We wouldn't have to rely on any outside sources for our energy. That's a big deal. That's a game changer. It's this technological breakthrough that's allowed this to happen, where it's no longer scarcity as it used to be in the 70s and 80s. Now we have rich abundance. We've just got to do it well, produce it for the public, and at the same time put our people to work doing it.
Incredible to think that could happen just in the next 10 years. Quickly, what about gas prices at the pump, and do you see any downside to this?
Well, the gas price at the pump is obviously determined by the laws of supply and demand. So what's most important about what we're doing is we're putting a lot more supply into the marketplace. We've increased our oil production in the U.S. by 2 million barrels a day just in the past 2 years. That adds to that global equation. You hear the conversations out of OPEC and elsewhere, very concerned about what we're doing here because we're taking control of our own destiny. That added supply puts downward pressure on price, stabilizes price, and hopefully over the long term reduces price. Our only other concerns, we need to make sure we protect our workforce when we produce it and protect the environment. We're doing that well. Those concerns can be addressed. We can do this responsibly. A great story for the American people.
Jack, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate your time.
Thank you, Molly. Good to visit with you.
Good to visit with you, too. And the website for more information is api.org. Stay tuned. Our picture of the day is coming up right after the break.